Let's go Eagles! The backstage buzz is heating up in Philadelphia, and I've got some major updates to break down with you all. We know the Eagles have their eyes locked on another Super Bowl run, and for that to happen, Nick Sirianni is going to need a roster stacked with impact players. I've got plenty to share with you right now, but before we dive deep, make sure you smash that like button. But only if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan. If you've been bleeding green and white for more than 20 years, hit that like and drop a comment saying, "Go Eagles! My heart bleeds green and white." Alright, now let's get into the real story. The Philadelphia Eagles are turning heads as they finally made a move many of us have been hoping for. According to multiple reports, the Eagles hosted standout defensive lineman Walter Nolen from Ole Miss for a top 30 visit, a major signal that Howie Roseman might be ready to make a bold draft day move. This isn't just a rumor anymore. It's real. And considering Nolan's raw talent and jaw-dropping athletic profile, pairing him next to Jalen Carter could give Philly a terrifying defensive line for years to come. At 6'4", 296 pounds, Nolen possesses explosive power and an elite first step that leaves blockers in the dust. Scouts have pointed out that he can be overly aggressive at times, which might take him out of plays, but under the guidance of defensive mastermind Vic Fangio and new D-line coach Clint Hurt, those rough edges can absolutely be smoothed out. And let's be real, this sounds a lot like the same pre-draft chatter we heard about Jalen Carter last year, and look how that turned out. Now let's talk about the A.J. Brown trade rumors that have been swirling thanks to some wild speculation. From New England radio, a host floated the idea that Philly might be eyeing Penn State linebacker Abdul Carter so strongly that they'd consider trading A.J. Brown to the Patriots to get up to the 4th overall pick. That's right, Swole Batman. The suggestion? A reunion between A.J. and Mike Vrabel in New England. But let's shut that down right now. Financially, logistically, and philosophically, it makes no sense. Trading A.J. would incur a cap hit upwards of $60 million, and we're not even entertaining the idea of moving one of the league's premier receivers, especially after signing a major extension. Even so, around 14% of fans in a poll said they'd entertain the idea, which, honestly, what are we doing, people? A.J. Brown is staying, period. Don't let the noise from sports radio twist your thinking. But while that's just smoke, the fire is real when it comes to Walter Nolen. The Eagles' interest in Nolen is legit, and they aren't the only ones. If the Birds want him, they may need to trade up from pick 32. A likely landing spot? Pick 24, held by the Minnesota Vikings. With the Vikings reportedly open to gaining more draft capital, they only have a few picks this year. The Eagles could realistically move up by offering a combination of later picks or even 2026 capital. And this wouldn't be out of character for Howie Roseman. The man has a history of maneuvering through the draft like a chess master. From trading up and down the board to stacking picks in later years, he's always 3 steps ahead. Remember, he's already the only GM in NFL history to draft 4 straight second-round Pro Bowlers: Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts, Landon Dickerson, and Cam Jurgens. That's not luck. That's elite talent evaluation and masterful planning. But let's circle back to Nolen for a second. There's been some discussion about his character and off-field decisions, primarily surrounding the fact that he transferred high schools multiple times and made a few college moves. But dig deeper, and the context matters. Some moves were related to coaching changes and others due to family decisions during the COVID-19 pandemic. No red flags, just life. As for his projection, if Nolen does fall to the 24th pick or lower, and if the Eagles can package something to move up without mortgaging the future, this could be another Jalen Carter-level steal. Anthony DeBona, Eagles writer and draft analyst, even said it flat out: "Walter Nolen is the pick that I want." And honestly, same here. The ceiling is sky high. But that's not all. There's more intrigue building around the tight end position as well. Mason Taylor, the LSU tight end, and son of NFL legend Jason Taylor, is climbing draft boards fast. Some mock drafts even have him going in the 1st round. And guess what? The Eagles have been connected to him since the Combine. No top 30 visit was confirmed, but formal meetings did happen, and that's often enough when you've already seen the film and know the player. With the ongoing rumors about Dallas Goedert being on the trade block, Mason Taylor could be the successor. Dallas's situation seems like one of those when, not if deals at this point. There's been constant smoke for months, and insiders like Jordan Schultz and Josina Anderson have both reported that the Eagles would be willing to take 2026 draft compensation. That's big. It signals that the front office is open to moving on, especially if they can lock in a promising replacement like Taylor, or even Harold Fannin Jr. later in the draft. Fannin, a former safety-turned-hybrid tight end from Bowling Green, also has fans in the Eagles' scouting department. With inside connections like QB coach Scott Lealer, there's real interest there too. So here's where we are, Eagles fans. A real shot at trading up for Walter Nolan. Major smoke around Mason Taylor, and Dallas Goedert looking more likely to be moved during the draft window. All of it adds up to a potentially game-changing draft for the Birds. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think the Eagles should trade up to grab Walter Nolan if he's there at 24? Or do you have someone else in mind for our first-round pick? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned, because in the next part, we'll dive deeper into the tight end possibilities, Dallas Goedert's trade value, and why Cooper DeJean might be the most underrated rising star on the entire roster. Ready for more? Just say the word. If the Eagles make the move up to grab Walter Nolan, it could be the kind of defining moment that reshapes this defense. But it's not the only domino that could fall on draft night. The tight end situation is just as critical, and if you're not paying attention to what's happening behind the scenes with Dallas Goedert, you might miss one of the biggest trades of the offseason. There's been constant chatter for months, and now we've got reliable names like Jordan Schultz and Josina Anderson confirming what many fans have already suspected. The Eagles are willing to move Goedert, even if it means taking future draft compensation in 2026. This isn't just speculation anymore. This is a front office preparing for the future. And if that doesn't make you pause, the smoke around Mason Taylor should. Taylor's name has exploded into first-round territory. Daniel Jeremiah and Brian Baldinger, two respected voices in the draft community, have both linked him to Philly at pick 32. Now, some might say that's a reach, but Taylor checks every box: NFL pedigree, reliable hands, strong blocker, and someone who's already polished from playing in the SEC. He's got the look of a plug-and-play contributor, especially in an offense that's already stacked with talent like A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, and Saquon Barkley. The idea of moving Dallas and drafting Taylor feels more like a strategic shift than a reactive one. You get younger, cheaper, and still maintain a high ceiling at the position. And let's face it, if Goedert is traded after a first-round tight end selection, the leverage in negotiations disappears. That's why moving him either just before or on draft night makes sense. If a team like the Colts or another tight end needy squad is willing to part with a day 2 pick, or even a 2026 conditional third that escalates to a second based on production, you have to think the Eagles pull the trigger.